Our initial problem statement is we wanted to have three different parts where we would use a projector, a 3D sensor, and an embedded CPU to actually put it all into one object really and use it as a projector and motion sensor all in the same product. So in this case, we decided to just kind of go for more of a prototype because we didn't really have the facilities, to make an actual full hardware prototype with the embedded CPU and everything. So we're using a Kinect sensor made by Microsoft using their API and all that, and just a regular computer. And we're using it to actually control the mouse functions and obviously the PowerPoint functions of the computer as well. The goals were kind of to create an interactive program where you can actually sit there and touch your screen or just make gestures in general to operate your computer without having to use your mouse or your keyboard or anything. So if a presenter or something like this is standing up there, they just have to keep their hands in a certain position and just do the next gesture, to move on to the next slide or whatever they're doing. And so all the gestures trigger internal events in the program, and depending on what state the program's in, you can do a very large amount of different controls and stuff with your computer. And we would also like to have it operating on multiple OSs, but at this point, I think, did we actually get it working on?
No, we're just testing.
Okay, so
it's the Kinect's fault. We weren't using it.
Oh. You probably need to put your hand higher.
I think it's
there
just too close to me. It's losing my head.
Yeah. All right. So that's pretty much all for our goals and objectives.
Now we'll show you how to set up and use the NexTouch. Once the program is running, step back till the Kinect recognizes you. The picture view will turn to a solid color when it recognizes you. At this point, the Kinect has 8 gestures. We're going to run through those now. With your left hand above your waist, stick your right hand above your head and to the right, or to the right and below your waist. Also, with your left hand above your waist, you can raise your right arm up and to the left, or over your head and to the left. When you put your left hand below your waist, it deactivates your mouse. Then you can move your right hand up or down to activate a gesture. With your left arm below your waist, you can move your hand up and to the left, or over your head and to the left. To control a presentation, you can move your right arm up to go forward, or you can move it down to go backwards. You can also control the mouse and click and drag with the NexTouch. If you stick your left arm out and move your right arm to move the mouse, you can highlight text. The NexTouch can be used to control basic keyboard functions like save or even enter. Now that you know how to set up and use, we'll go into how we created NexTouch.
So, everything was built on the C# and C#. We use Microsoft Visual Studio, and what it is it's a WPF application. So it'll open up a window, and we have a few settings on there. But within that, we have window loaded. So as it loads, it calls the Kinect functions. It will actually, so it calls the Kinect SDK. We use version 1.8. 2.0 would have been great, but we don't have an Xbox One, and we didn't feel like buying anything out extra. So if we had that, it probably would have turned out a little bit better because it has like grep functions outside of stuff. But within the 1.8, it calls a function called sensor chooser, and that just detects whether there's multiple Kinects connected to your computer, like maybe if you changed USB ports, whatnot. So it picks the Kinect, and then from there you can initialize the color sensor and the depth sensor, which are the ones that we need for this. Within those functions, we also have, we can call a method called frame ready. We can call depth frame ready, we can call skeleton frame ready, and that's going to get called at every frame refresh of the Kinect. So within our skeleton frame ready, since we're mostly using position data to create our gestures, we did most of our work in here. So within that function, we would grab the arm data. When you do it with the Kinect, you have to do a skeleton, then you have to do a joint, like each individual joint to get down to whatever joint you want. So in our case, we wanted to do skeleton to arm to hand. And we get that data, and then we process the gestures every frame. And then when we see a specific gesture that we want, it'll send input to the system.
All right, so this is our user interface.